Hello, YouTube, and the glut of people who have subscribed to my channel recently. I hope you watch this video. It might not appeal to you, but hey, more views the better. There's a guy, I can't think of his name, but he runs a comic shop, Larry's Comics or something, and he bought 500 copies of the new Warriors. If you're aware of what that is, and I covered it here on my channel, internet gas and safe space and snowflake and I'm sure you've heard all about it. The guy bought 500 copies of it for his store. Now I don't know how many variant covers that gets him, because Marvel has a thing about you had to order so many to get each variant or something, and some of the variants were pretty rad, I gotta admit. They show like Night Thrasher like right in front and he looks like a badass, but the book's not about him, it's about these new warriors and Trailblazer, the girl with diabetes and a magical backpack full of snacks, and safe space, according to Kibblesmith, a typical jock in a onesie, and he's got pink hair, and I don't know, man. I don't know, but the guy in his post, when they interviewed him about why he ordered so many, he says, there's been 1 million views on the YouTube video, and only 200,000 people downvoted it. So that means 800,000 people might be into it, so I'm going to buy a whole bunch. Now, I think he's just trolling Marvel. I do. I think it's spite buying. Because no one's going to buy it, except to roast it, Or you can buy it to see if there's any merit to it. Obviously, we've only seen a little preview. We don't know much about it, except, if you want to find out more about Daniel Kibblesmith, just Google him. He's a weirdo. He's a very strange guy. But he wrote for the Colbert Report. Or no, not the Report, no. Late Night with Stephen Colbert, which is a trash fire. I shouldn't say that. I haven't watched it. I don't know much about it. But the Colbert Report was awesome. I watched it every night. Because it was satire, Nothing... Well, I mean, you can take the piss out of anything. But, he was... Yeah, the Colbert Report was awesome. But this Kibblesmith cat... I don't know. He made a lot of money, like, writing books and stuff. But his early comic book work is so cringy. Santa's Husband is one. It's a story about Santa Claus and his big black husband. I'm not joking. Look this stuff up. I mean, I wish I could link to it, but I don't know how. I just got my phone. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've just got my phone, and, sorry, had to reflect and kind of, calm down. But, yeah. This guy, Larry, he bought 500 copies of it. 500 copies of a book that nobody wants. 200,000 downvotes on it, but 1 million views. 1 million views of the thing and only 200,000 downvotes. So, he's betting on the people that come into his store, once they reopen. He's betting on them to, pick it up. Especially if he gets a lot of that variant cover with Night Thrasher on it. I guarantee you he's going to sell a whole bunch of those. And he can mark them up, right? Like say you had to buy 10 to get one of those Night Thrasher variants. He ordered 500. Maybe he gets 50 of them. And he could sell those for like $10 each instead of the cover price of $4 or whatever. He probably makes his money back right there, you know? And maybe that's the idea. I'm not a comic book retailer. I don't understand how this all works. I never have understood how it works. I know they get a discount. But, you know, it's weird. Like, who do they get the discount from? The distributor or the publisher? Huh. Because, you know, Diamond was a quote-unquote benign monopoly as deemed by the United States government. And I don't know, like, what kind of discounts they gave retailers. Because, I mean, they obviously got a discount on the books that they brought into the house, you know, to distribute to all the comic shops in America. So I'm curious. I mean, does Diamond pay $1 for a book and then the stores pay $2 for a book? I honestly don't know. But if that's the case, I would say let's get rid of Diamond. Let's directly distribute from, you know, the big two. And, well, I don't know. DC is like started to distribute comic books to comic book stores using Midtown Comics and Discount Comic Book Online, or whatever it's called, DCBM, Discount Comic Book Marketplace, I think it is. I use Discount. That's how I got, like, let's see, the first 6 or 8 months of DC Rebirth, every issue of every comic. That's a great service. I really like it. And the comics showed up in like perfect condition. Yeah, I love DCBM. I would use it now, but I don't have any place to ship comics to since I live on the street. But yeah, so DC is using them and Midtown Comics. Like, if you ever open a comic book and that's the ads you see in them are for those two companies, and they distribute comic books already, so why not use them to distribute comics? And DCBM, I think, is based in Denver, and Midtown is in New York, so they're using Midtown for everything on that side of the Mississippi, and DCBM for everything on this side of the Mississippi. I'm in Arizona, so I'm on this side of the Mississippi. And, yeah, that's the model right now that DC's using. But they're putting books in stores right now. They're not goofing off like Marvel. Just completely shut down. Now, all we can hope for at Marvel and DC is that they, you know, get lean. You know, get rid of all the idiots that they've hired over the last few years to, you know, make a political statement, you know, hiring a trans person whose books never sell more than 800 copies. Not to say she doesn't have any talent, it's just nobody buys it. You know, I can't decry Mags Visaggio's talent because I've read a couple things that she wrote and I liked it. So I'm not going to say she's terrible. She can't sell anything. Nobody wants what she's writing. I mean, these were in anthology books by DC, like, you know, Big Love in Outer Space and the horror one. Like, I know it sounds stupid, but they put out these $10 books that are 100 pages long, and they got a bunch of short stories, and I read a couple of her short stories in those, and they were pretty cool. That's all I can say. I mean, I started reading Shade the Changing Girl. Anybody who knows me from the way back, Shade the Changing Man was like one of my favorite comics. It was just so weird. Peter Milligan and Chris Bachalo were the team at the beginning. It might have been the team at the end of it too. And I think Jamie Delano took over the writing though. It's hard to remember because it's been so long. But Pete Milligan started that. And issue number 1, they're executing this dude who, he was a serial killer, right? And when Shade shows up, he's from another dimension, right? And he doesn't have his own body. All he has is his madness vest. And he shows up in the body of that murderer. And the first person he meets is the only survivor of the family he killed. Talk about a weird comic book, right? He looks just like the guy, because he's in that body. He's in the body of the guy that killed her parents and her little brother, and you know, that's where comics were when I was a kid. You know, they were trying to push agendas. I don't think so. They were trying to tell good stories. And now comics just want to push an agenda. They want you to vote a certain way. They want you to think a certain way. And, I don't know. Comics in my youth, they weren't like that at all. And the comics that I was reading like 10 years ago, shit. It's been a long time since I bought a physical comic book. My comic shop closed here in Prescott Valley in 2009. Yeesh. But no, like 2016, 17, I was getting all the DC Universe books. And the Rebirth was amazing. I don't know. I don't know where this video is going. But yeah, if you're going to order 500 copies of New Warriors, you're really betting on people starting YouTube channels to roast it. That's all I can say, man. Nobody wants this comic book. Nobody does. Except, you know, to roast it. That's all they want. They want to get online and show you the pages and show you how cringy it is. Yeah, anyways, that's the end of the video. I don't have a thesis for this one. Just, the New Warriors is crap. And everybody knows it. Why did this guy buy 500 copies? Probably so he could sell those awesome variant covers. Because the variant covers on all of them are awesome. Like the main cover shows off the new team and it's like, Who are they? Trailblazer, Snowflake, Safe Space, right? Those are the cringiest ones, I think. Screen Time, he's the one that got his grandfather's internet gas. And basically, I don't know if you know who Cyborg is, DC, but he's connected to the World Wide Web all the time. Like, that's his superpower, and he's a machine, and he's tough, you know. And he can, like, turn his body into all kinds of weapons and stuff. But this kid, he got internet gassed. I've seen people, like, post pictures and stuff of Hank Hill. He's like, now you can order our propane on the internet. You can get some internet gas. Just like, oh my god, dude, it's so stupid. The stupidest fucking thing ever. But, you know, whatever. Larry, do what you want. It's your store. You can burn it to the ground if you want to. But I'm sure the variant covers, I've seen them all online, and they're all great. They're all, like, if you like the New Warriors from the 90s, like I didn't. I was a kid back then. Well, young man, I guess. But I didn't like the New Warriors. I thought they were stupid. The team had Speedball and a character I absolutely hated named Rage. I mean, Rage, he's a giant black guy in a luchador mask. And, like, that's his costume. That's the whole thing. I hated that character. I don't know much about Night Thrasher. Namorita, you know, Aqua Lass, basically. Namor's little sister or what have you. I don't even know who she is. Firestar from the old cartoon. Spider-Man and his amazing friends. I think that was the character that they wanted you to, like, open the book for. But hey, I just wasn't drawn in. I didn't like the New Warriors. But, your boy Zach, he loved it. Night Thrasher's his favorite character. As far as I remember, he had roller skates or a skateboard. I don't know. And spikes and... I don't know. It's just not a character for me. When the 90s went extreme, I kind of quit reading them. I didn't care. I missed out on a lot of fun stuff, I'm sure, but... Miss me with this shit. New Warriors. Fuck that. Daniel Kibblesmith, dude. I wouldn't say she's beautiful. The girl that tried to kiss him is traditionally attractive, maybe, but I wouldn't, like, turn away from her kiss, but I wasn't attracted to her when I saw the video. But he did. He turns away from her trying to kiss him, and it's so cringy. Oh my god, Daniel Kibblesmith, dude, you got problems. Oh, man. Anyhow, that's the video. Hit the like button if you like this. Subscribe if you like the content and you want more of it. And hit the bell for notifications. I always forget to say that because I don't know if anybody gets notified when my videos go live. I don't know if anybody's hitting that button. But if you do, you'll get more of this wacky content. Today I'm in the sunshine making videos. Usually do this at night, but whatever. Peace.